Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the most interesting and important concept, convolution neural network, CNN. So we are going to look in detail about convolution neural network. So this is really very important, and at the same time, it's going to be really interesting also, right? So let us try to understand the concept. Okay, look into this picture now. I'll give you 30 seconds time. Just look into that and tell me what do you observe over here. Okay, so now what did you observe? So you might have observed immediately that this boy is watering the plants. So there are several plants over here and he is watering the plants, right? So this is what you have observed now. Yes, anything else you could figure out? Then you could see a tree over here. There are clouds. Okay, in case if I give some more time, then you may look at some flowers over here. And then here you can see a trunk, which means the tree is already cut. Now again, I'm giving some more time to you. Closely look at the picture and tell me your observations now. Now you might have started to notice that the boy is wearing a hat and then checked shirt and he's wearing trousers and then shoes and socks, right? So this is what we are observing, right? So when we look at the image, we try to figure out what are all there and what they are doing, right? So this is what we are doing. How is this happening? So basically you are looking into the image. So your eyes are looking at the image and the brain, it is passing some information to the brain and your brain is interpreting that whatever is over here and what is happening in the image. So nice, so cool it is, right? So it's so interesting. As a human, we are able to look at the image and understand what is happening in the picture, what is present in the picture. And we are also able to identify the colors, actions, emotions. Now, if you look at this boy, you can see that the boy is smiling and watering the plants, right? So he is smiling. So we can also figure out the emotions over here. And we are also able to notice the colors, right? So beautiful it is, right? At the same time, just imagine if I give this image to a computer, how can I make the computer to understand this? How can I make the machine to understand the emotion of this boy? How do I make the machine to understand what is present in the picture? That sounds interesting, right? That sounds interesting. We do not know actually what happens, but it sounds interesting, right? So this is what we are trying to understand in this video, right? So let me tell you, as I told you, we are going to study about convolution neural network. So what are convolution neural networks? They are also a class of neural networks that generalize multi-layer perceptrons. So we have some idea about perceptrons, right? The CNNs are primarily based on convolution operations. Example, dot products between data represented as a matrix and a filter also represented as a matrix. So here you will see two matrices and there what is going to happen? Something like dot products. So the convolution operation can be seen as an alternative to the matrix product. So the result can be seen as a regularization or smoothing of a raw input data. So what is happening here? The convolutional network will create a 3D matrix from raw data. So these data can be imagery taken from the photography or they can be as well as imagery representing frequency over time with color codes for various power intensity. So now when I tell you the definition, it may not be clear to you, right? But our aim is to understand what is CNN and what all operations are performed in that. So you will understand it shortly. Look at this. Have you seen this before? Yes, we have seen it in our school days, right? So in the subject biology, we must have studied about visual cortex. So the convolution neural networks are a special type of network in which the connectivity between its neuron is inspired by the visual cortex. So what is this visual cortex? It encompasses a small region of cells that are region sensitive to visual field. In case some certain orientation edges are present, then only some individual neuronal cells get fired inside the brain, such as some neurons respond as and when they get exposed to the vertical edges. However, some response when they are shown to the horizontal or diagonal edges, which is nothing but the motivation behind convolution neural networks. So what do we understand from this? So what's happening here? We are obtaining some, we are looking at some images through the eyes, and it is sending some signals to the brain, and based upon that, we interpret the images. Wow. Have you seen this before? Yes, they are neural networks. You're right. We have seen it in artificial neural network, right? So in artificial neural network, what all terms we have come across, right? So that's what we are going to discuss now, right? Fine. So you can see input layer, some hidden layers, and output layer. So there is one input layer with the 3 neurons and 3 hidden layers with the 4 neurons each, and then one output layer with the 2 neurons. I think it is easy to us, right? So here we have studied about the weights and the biases also, right? So in machine learning, we study about the coefficients or the slopes. In artificial neural network, we are studying about weights and biases, right? So we have also seen a hidden layer, which is used for non-linearity. There are hidden layers, which is used for processing, and activation functions are used for non-linearity. And then we have come across interesting concepts like feed forward and back propagation. Say, for example, like whenever we make a model that works forward, and once we get the output, based upon the error, we try to make some changes over here, and that process is basically called as back propagation, and then we get the output over here. This is what we have studied in artificial neural network, right? So we have come across all these concepts. Now look at this. So our brain forms a model of images. Millions of neurons are interconnected. As we see images more and more often, we learn to label. So when you look at this image, you can figure out that it is a cat. But in young age, in your childhood, your mother or father must have trained you that if the eyes look like this, or if the ears look like this, if the structure is looking like this, then it is a cat. So based upon the training given to you, you are now able to answer that it is a cat, right? So how do you identify the cat? Only with the help of the training that has happened before. Am I clear? Now here, what do you observe in this figure? So whenever we look at the image, what is happening? What is happening? Already we know that the neurons are connected to dendrites and it is a complicated network, and these signals are passed, right? So here, what the computer sees in this, see, look, if you look at this, the computer look at this way. This is what the computer sees. So now say it is an image classification model, and this is the probability it is showing. If you add it, 82 plus 15, 97, 99, 100. So out of 100 percentage, it is saying that 82 percentage it is a cat, 15 percentage it is a dog, 2 percentage it is a hat, and 1 percentage it is a mug. So the maximum probability says that it is a cat. We also know that it is a cat, right? So if you look at this, you can see something like an image and then convolution layers, which one we are studying right now. And you can see something over here, depth, width, and height. This is new to us, right? We all know that this is height, right? We all know that this is height, and this is the depth, and this is the width. So whenever we talk about the layers in 3 dimensions, they are height, weight, and depth, right? Now look at this image. So just I thought of showing how the convolution neural network looks like. Say this is an input image, and here there is a kernel also. We will understand the kernel shortly, right? So the input image is passed into convolution plus ReLU. So what is this convolution plus ReLU? So with the convolution layer, this activation function ReLU is added. Then there is pooling. After that, convolution plus ReLU, pooling, convolution plus ReLU, pooling, and then flatten layer. And then what is happening here? Something different, right? So here it was 3 dimension, now something like 1 dimension. Do you think so? Maybe. Let's see. Then you can see fully connected layer over here, right? Fully connected layer. And from that you can see softmax activation function. And this is saying that 0.2 horse, 0.7 zebra, 0.1 dog. So it is very obvious that 0.7 zebra, so this must be zebra, right? So what do you see over here? From kernel till flatten layer, you can see something like feature extraction. And these parts, it is written as feature maps. We are going to study all this. So here you can see classification. Under fully connected layer, it is written classification. And then here you can see probabilistic distribution, right? So what are the new terms for us now? Kernel is new, convolution is new, pooling, flattening, feature maps, feature extraction. These are all new terms for us, right? So we are going to understand that shortly. So now in this output, which activation function is used? Softmax. We have studied that softmax activation function is used in the output, right? Now the next CNN architecture. So here the input is 2. And here you can see 28 into 28 into 1, right? And then convolution 1, 5 cross 5 kernel valid padding, and then pooling, convolution, pooling, fully connected, right? And then there is an output from 0 to 9. Have we seen this before? Yes. In MNIST, we have seen this. And then you can see flattened, ReLU, right? So fully connected, right? So this is fully connected neural network, right? And then here also fully connected neural network with the dropout. So what are we getting? We are getting outputs ranging from 0 to 9, right? So here, what is the new term? So again, the same convolution, pooling, right? We are looking into the word kernel, right? Fine. The next one you can see like image maximum pole. So we are going to look into another term called maximum polling. So you can see something over here, input, output, and here you can see 64, 224, and this is also 224, right? So what does this say over here? From this figure, what I could figure out is something it is saying like maximum polling and 1, 1, 5, 6. This 6 is the maximum. So that is being taken. 2, 8, 7, 4. 8 is the maximum. So 8 is considered. 3, 2, 1, 2. 3 is the maximum. So 3, 1, 0, 3, 4. 4 is maximum. That is taken. Oh, something new, right? So CNN architecture, when max pool is taken, what is it doing? Actually, here you can see that 64 is the same. 224 that has become 112, and this 224 has become 112, right? And then here we have taken. So when we talk about maximum polling, what has happened over here? We are getting the maximum in each 2 cross 2, right? So just we are trying to learn it backward, right? We will see that. The next is CNN architecture. So here there is a bird picture and then convolution plus non-linearity. So in the remaining pictures, we have seen ReLU. So here it is mentioned only as non-linearity and then maximum pooling, right? Okay, maximum pooling we have seen in the previous slide, right? So convolution plus pooling layers, right? After that, it is connected to fully connected layers. And then you can see some classification like bird, sunset, dog, cat, and there are several other cases. Now, can you tell me which one will have maximum probability? Yes, you are right. Yes, the probability will be maximum for bird, right? The next one. So 0 is the input image and there are 6 feature maps. And then here you can see that 16 feature maps and then predicted digit, it is from 0 to 9, right? And you can see that, right? Clear. So the next one again, you can see 6 kernels and the neurons. And here you can see pooling 2 cross 2. So convolution layer 1 and convolution layer 2. So some idea we get it over here, right? So what is happening here? You can see some more new terms over here like stride, right? Stride is new. Stride, and we have her padding. Padding is also new. But in the previous architecture, we have seen pooling, right? Okay, so we are going to understand all this in a nice way, right? Now look at this. So all these time I was using a term convolution, kernel, filter, padding, striding, pooling, fully connected layer, right? So now we are going to understand everything in detail, right? So what is convolution? Convolution is nothing but merging two sets of information. Merging two sets of information, right? Second point, what I have written, input plus kernel gives feature map. Input plus kernel gives feature map. Then I have written that slide filter over input, multiply values, sum, place into new feature map. Oh my God. Is it clear? May not be. Okay, so let's try to understand this now, right? Now look at this. So this is nothing but the input. This is kernel, right? Okay. So what am I going to do? Input plus kernel gives feature map. So I think this could be feature map. Slide filter over input. So let's try to understand this. Slide filter over input. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to keep it over here, right? So what happens now? 1, 0, 1, 0, right? 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? So what I have done, I have taken this kernel and I placed it on this, right? The first one, right? So what is the next point? Multiply values and sum it. Okay, let us multiply now. 1 into 1 plus 1 into 0, 0 plus 1 into 1, that is 1, 0 into 0, 0 plus 1 into 1, 1 into 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1. So what is the answer now? So I'm getting answer as 4. Okay, so now the next step, right? So next what I'm going to do now? Okay, so what I'm going to do now? So slide, filter over input, multiply values, sum, place into new feature map. So that's what we have done. Now, so in the first step, we have placed it over here. Now what we have to do? We have to place it over here, right? So what will happen now? 1, 0, 1. So 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? So 1, 0, 0 plus 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, right? So what is the answer I'm getting now? 3, right? So what is the next step? Now I have to place it over here, right? So let me find out now. So this will become 1 now, 0 now, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? So what do I get now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I clear? So what do I get now? I'll get it as 4, right? So this part is done now. So what is the next step? Now what will happen? The same thing happen over here, right? So now multiply with this. This becomes, so let me write this 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? So 1, 2, right? Am I clear? So this becomes 2. So what will happen now? Now on this one, right? Then on this one, right? So what we will get? So here we will get it as 4 and this one we may get it as 3, right? Then what is the next step now? So now the next step is that 1 and then second one and then the third one, right? So what is the answer now? So we will get it as 2, 3 and 4. I hope this part is clear to you, right? So this is how it will work. Clear with this? So this is input, right? Fine. So what has happened? Input has 5 cross 5 matrix, right? And this kernel is of size 3 cross 3. And the feature map is of size 3 cross 3. Okay, so this is what we are getting. So we should understand this still, say, because there may be a question to you in the interviews like, okay, if this is the input and this is the kernel, then what will be the size of the feature map, right? So this is very popular question. So how can I come up with a formula now? Output is equal to input minus k plus 1. So let us try for our case. So input is 5 cross 5, right? So 5 minus kernel is 3 plus 1. So 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Since mine is a square matrix, I'm going to get output as 3 cross 3, right? Hope it is clear to you, right? So what we have studied now, input, and then this is kernel, then we got a feature map. So now these terms are new, not new to you, right? So each convolution with a different filter results in a different feature map. So we combine feature maps to produce final output. The ReLU is used for non-linearity, and then we are going to study about stride. Stride means a step that the filter moves, right? So this is what we are going to study. So let me tell you in simple, in each case, what we have done, we have pushed only by one, right? So we have taken this 3 cross 3, we have used on this, and then we moved it by one, and then we have used on this. Then we moved it by one, then we have used on this, right? So this is what we have done over there. So stride is nothing but step that filter moves. So the next one is about padding. What is padding? Padding prevents feature map from shrinking by adding a layer of 0 pixels. So sometimes, okay, in the previous case itself, we have seen that it was 5 cross 5 input, and what finally happened was the feature map, we got it as 3 cross 3, right? So there is a high possibility of losing the information. To retain the information, we generally use padding. Hope it is clear to you, right? So we will see what we will do over there, right? So now look at this and tell me like why this is 4 cross 4. So I can say that this is an input and this is kernel and this must be feature map. What is the formula I taught you? Output is nothing but input minus kernel plus 1. So let me figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 minus kernel is 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 cross 4 is the feature map. Wow, it's so clear, right? Now, when we study about this, there are some hyperparameters used over here, which is similar to the other machine learning algorithms and artificial neural network, right? So the parameters with a set value before learning are called as hyperparameters. So here we will be studying about few hyperparameters like kernel size, filter count, stride, and padding. And what do we do with the hyperparameters? We can tune hyperparameters to improve accuracy. So what is kernel? We have seen there, right? So what is kernel over here? So the kernel is this one. That's what we have seen, right? 3 cross 3. And how many kernels are there? 3 kernels are there. So kernel is nothing but a filter that is used to extract the features from the images. It is a filter that is used to extract the features from the images. So it is a matrix that moves over the input data, performs the dot product with a subregion of input data, and gets the output as the matrix of dot products. That is what we have seen, right? So what have we seen over here? What have we seen over here? 1 into 1 plus, 1 into 0 plus, 1 into 1 plus, 0 plus 0 into 0 plus, 1 into 1 plus, 1 into 0 plus, 0 into 1 plus, 0 into 0 plus, 1 into 1, right? This is what we have seen. The same point is being explained over here. Kernel is nothing but a matrix that moves over the input data, performs the dot product with a subregion of input data, and gets the output as the matrix of dot products. So kernel moves on the input data by the stride value. So here we have moved the kernel only by 1. That's what we have seen till now, right? So just be patient. So we have seen over here, we have used 6 cross 6 input and 3 cross 3 kernel, and we have got 4 cross 4 feature map. So that is what I have told over here. Convolving an input of 6 cross 6 dimension with a 3 cross 3 filter results in 4 cross 4 output. So we can generalize it and say that if the input is n into n and the filter size is f into f, then the output size will be n minus f plus 1 into n minus f plus 1. That is the same thing I called it as I minus k plus 1, right? So that is what being written over here. So we got 6 into 6, 3 cross 3. So what do we get? 6 minus 3 plus 1, 6 minus 3 plus 1. So what is the answer now? 4 cross 4. This is the output we have received. So input is n cross n. In that case, it is 6 cross 6. Filter size, we have used 3 cross 3, and output we got it as 4 cross 4. So there are some disadvantages over here. Every time we apply convolution operation, the size of the image shrinks. That's what happened. Previously, it was 6 cross 6. When you do convolution operation, the size has reduced. It is now 4 cross 4. So pixels present in the corner of the image are used only a few number of times during convolution as compared to the central pixel. I think that is very obvious, right? Hence, we do not focus too much on the corners since that can lead to information loss. Now let us, so we got some idea about padding. So I have not told you what we are doing with the padding. Say basically I have, let me give you an example. Say I have 3 cross 3 matrix, okay? 3 cross 3, or let me take it as 5 cross 5 matrix, right? So let it be 5 cross 5 matrix, right? And then we have seen that, okay, in case if I am using 3 cross 3 kernel, what will happen now? 5 minus 3, 2 plus 1. So again, I'll be getting it as 3 cross 3, right? So this is the feature map I'll be getting. So in padding, what we do is we add zeros in all the places to avoid losing of information, right? So now what will happen? Now what will happen? Right? So what will happen? So we will be using this 3 now, right? So here there will be another one, and we will be using this 3 now, and then this 3 now, and then this 3 now, right? So we will be seeing an example also in this video so that we can understand. Now what you should understand is in padding, what do we do? We add some zeros, right? We add some zeros in all the places, right? Now in pooling. So what do we do in pooling? Pooling reduces dimensionality. Basically, it reduces parameters or computations. So when we study about pooling, there are two types of pooling. One is about maximum pooling and another one is about average pooling. So like we have got this output, okay? So now what we are going to do is, if it is maximum pooling, compare all these four: 38, 20, 36, 49. Which is the maximum over here? 49. 77, 33, 12, 48. Maximum is 77, right? 26, 65, 90, 31. Maximum is 90. 100, 40, 43, 18. Maximum is 100, right? So in average pooling, what do we do? 38 plus 20 plus 36 plus 49 divided by 4. So let me do that. 38 plus 36 plus 20 plus 49 divided by 4. So 38 plus 20, 58, 68, 78, 88, 104, 144, 153, right? So let us try to do this, right? You can find out average for every case now. So actually we are getting it as 143, right? Right. So let me add it. 38, 58, right? So what are we getting here? 143, right? So 143 divided by 4, what do we get now? 3 4s are 12, 23, right? So around 36, right? So that is what being written over here. Similarly, 77 plus 33 plus 12 plus 48, what do we get? So divided by 4, so we'll be getting around 43. So basically what we are trying to understand over here, it is taking in maximum pooling, it is taking the maximum value, and in average pooling, it is It is what it is doing actually. It is just finding the average of each 2 cross 2. Hope it is clear to you, right? So just we have understood what is pooling now. Now we are going to study striding little more deeper. So say we choose a stride of 2. Okay, so what we have seen in the previous case was stride of 1. So now it is, if it is stride of 2. So while convoluting image, we will take 2 steps, both in the horizontal and vertical direction separately. So the dimensions for stride S will be, say for example, input is n cross n and padding is P and stride is S, filter size is F cross F, and then this will be the output formula now. So the stride helps us to reduce the size of the image, particularly use feature. So let me show you now, right? So let us try to solve some cases and we will try to understand, because this is very important concept. That's why I'm giving more importance to this, right? Okay. So let me take the pen now. Okay. Say for example, I have 3, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then I have 0, 0, 1, 3, 1, and I have 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, and then here again I have 2, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, 2, right? And then 2, 0, 0, 0, 1. This is what I have now, right? So the next thing what I'm going to do is, right? So I need a kernel also, right? So I'm using 3 cross 3 kernel, right? So let me use different pen now. So kernel is 0, 1, 2, 2, 2, 0, and then 0, 1, 2. So now can you tell me what will be the size of the feature map? Yes, you are right. So 5 minus 3 plus 1. So which must be 3 cross 3, right? So let us try to do that now. So what will happen now first? At this kernel, we will be placing it over here. The first we will be placing it over here. So 3 into 0, 0, 3 into 1, 3, plus 4, 3 plus 4, and then here 3 into 0, 0, 1 into 1 plus 4, right? So what do we get now? 7, 8, 12, right? So what is the answer now? So I'll be getting it as 12, and the next case it will be doing for here, right? So it will do for here. So what will happen now? 3 into 0, 0, 2 into 1, 2, plus 2, 4, plus 2, 6, plus 2, 8, plus 4, right? 12. So I'll be getting it as 12. Then the next one, I have done it already. So I'm writing it over here. 10, 17, 19, right? So 9, 6, 14, right? So this is the feature map I'm getting, right? So the feature map I'm getting it as 3 cross 3. Randomly we will check something. 17 means what will happen? So this will be 1, 2, and then this will be the third one, right? So this and this one, right? So when we take this one, just let's random check, right? So check whether we are getting 17 now. So 0, 1 plus 3 2s are 6. So 1 plus 6 plus 1 into this 2, that is 2, plus 2 into this 2, 4. Then there is 2 into 0, 0, 0 into 0, again 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0, 2 into 2, 4. So 8, 10, 16, 17. Yes, we are right. Right? So this is clear. So this is the input, this is the kernel, and we got the feature map. And we are clear with the formula also. We have done we have done stride 1. So which means we have moved one by one, right? So this is what we have understood about it. Now, in case, if I am going to do padding, what will I do now? Padding means, what did I say? We have to add zeros. This is what we have seen, right? Let me erase this because we have done this, right? So in padding, what did I say? We add zeros because when we are doing this, we got the output also as 3 cross 3, which means we are losing some information. We do not want that to happen. That's why we are doing this, right? So what will happen now? See, for example, what is going to happen now? So the first operation will be done over here. Let me take some other pen now. Okay. So what will be the first operation? This one, right? So this is what will happen now. Here also there is 1 0, right? Sorry, right? So this is what will happen now. So 3 cross 3. So this is what will happen now. Now when you do this, what will be the output now? So you can calculate and tell me, right? So now this will become 0, 0, 0. Another case also 0. This will become 3 2 6. Again, these all become 0, right? So this is how we will be getting the answer as. Now let me show you the output now. Am I clear with this? See, 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0, 0 into 2, 0, 0 into 2, 0, 3 into 2, 6, 3 into 0, 0, 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 1, 0, 0 into 2, 0. So let me show you the output now. Okay. So what output I'll be getting now? This is going to be really interesting. I do not have enough space. That's why I'm writing like this, right? Right. Fine. So what did we get actually? We got it as 6, right? So we got it as, let me change the color. So we got it as 6. Similarly, we will do, and we will get it like 6, 14, 17, 11, 13, sorry, not 13, 3 actually, right? 14, 12, 12, 17, 11, 8, 11, 6, 10, 17, 19, 13, 9, 6, 14, 12, right? 4, 4, 4, 4, 6, 4. See, look at the beauty of this. Now what happened? Previously it was 5 cross 5. When you add zeros in all the places, we are getting output as 5 cross 5, which means we are not losing any information. That is what the aim of padding was. Hope it is clear to you, right? So what has happened over here? What has happened over here, right? So I think 10, 17, 19. So it's the center operations, right? So that's the reason it is remaining the same. 12, 12, 17, 12, 12, 17, 10, 17, 19, 10, 17, 19, 9, 6, 14, right? So the center thing is there. And here also, we are not losing any information. That is the beauty of it. So when I do padding, how does the formula change? So input minus k plus 2p, right, divided by s plus 1. So let us try to substitute. What was input actually? 5. Kernel was 3 plus how many padding layer we added? Only 1, right? So 2 into 1 is 2. Divided by yes, we moved it by one stride only. We have not seen the stride yet. Plus 1. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. That's why we got the output as 5 cross 5. Is it clear? Yes. So in this case, if you do average, maximum pooling, what do we do? Yes, you are right. 14. And here we will be getting it as 17. Right? Here we will be getting it as 11. And here we will be getting it as 19. In case if you do average pooling, what will happen? Yes, 6 plus 14 plus 12 divided by 4. 17 plus 11 plus 12 plus 17 divided by 4, right? So I think it is clear to you, right? So this is how, so now we know how to get the feature map and how to do padding, right? And let me tell you the striding also, right? So when we talk about stride, ignore these zeros now, right? Okay, let me, right? So let us try to understand this now. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Just we are going to understand about striding, right? So as I told you, this is really easy, right? So in striding, say for example, I'm going to use stride 2. So what will happen now? The first thing it will be doing for this one, right? So what do we get answer as, right? We will be getting answer as 12 only, right? Fine. So now striding is equal to 2 in the sense, when we did stride equal to 1, what we have done? The second case, we were keeping it over here, right? So when we talk about stride is equal to 2, we will be leaving this one and we will place it over here. So what will be the answer now? 17. Similarly, since stride equal to 2, here also we will be leaving this and then we will take this one. Am I clear? Similarly, this one. So what will be the answer now? We will be getting 12, 17, 9 and 14. Is that clear to you? So what are we doing when we write stride equal to 2? The second thing, second sliding, actually it should happen over here. But since stride is equal to 2, it is moved to this place. Not only horizontally, even vertically, we have to follow the same. So what is happening now? When we do stride is equal to 2, we are getting output as 2 cross 2, right? We are getting output as 2 cross 2, right? So what is happening here? What is the formula now? I minus k divided by s plus 1. What is the input? 5 minus 3 by stride 2 we used plus 1. So 2 by 2 plus 1, which means 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. It's clear, right? So what is happening here? We have input. We are using a kernel over here, which is giving us a feature map, right? So that is point number 1, right? So if you include stride equal to 2, by default, stride is going to be 1 only, right? In case if you write it as 2, it will leave 1 row or 1 column and move to the next one. And then we have studied about padding. Padding means what it is doing? It is adding zeros around so that we are not losing any information over here. This is what we have studied, right? So when we use input and kernel, what was the formula? Input minus kernel plus 1. We had 5. So we use 5 minus 3 plus 1. So we got it as 3 cross 3, that we remember. And then whenever we do padding, what formula we were using? Input minus k plus 2p divided by s plus 1. So in that case, we have used stride as 1. So that is why 5 minus 3, we used 1 padding divided by s is 1. So what did we get? 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 1, 5 cross 5. That's why I said we are not losing any information. So in this case, if you use stride as 2, it will change, right? Clear? Yes. So this is another formula. And then here, what did we see? When there is no padding and when there is striding, what we have used? I minus k. There is no padding, right? So this term goes 0. So definitely this striding, right? Plus 1. So by default, you can remember this formula. I minus k plus 2p divided by s plus 1. I minus k plus 2p divided by s. So input, kernel, padding, striding, right? So this is what we have seen over here. People write with a different formula, right? So the filter is moved across the image left to right, top to bottom, with 1 pixel column change on the horizontal movements, then a 1 pixel row change on the vertical columns. So the amount of movement between applications of the filter to the input image is referred to as the stride, and it is always symmetrical in height and width dimensions. So the default stride in 2 dimensions is 1,1 for the height and width movement. The last one what we are going to study is about flattening. So now once the pooled feature map is obtained, the next step is to flatten it. What do we do in this flattening? We will be transforming the entire pooled feature map matrix into a single column, which is then fed to a neural network for processing. Right, so this is what we should know about flattening, right? So what do we do over here? Let me show the previous picture. We have seen flattening over there, right? You can see over here, right? So flattening, right? So this is what we have seen. So what it will do? It will flatten 3D volume into 1D vector, right? 3D volume into 1D vector. So whenever we do this processing, what will happen? We will be having few fully connected layers. We will be doing flattening, right? We will be flattening, right? The fully connected layers in the sense, don't worry about it. It is something similar to the one we have studied in regular neural network, right? So in case when you write the code, how do we write? So maybe I have written img underscore shape equal to 28,28,1. Let it be the shape. So how I am setting up the model? Model is equal to sequential, and I'm adding some convolution layer. So for that, what I'm writing, model dot add, right? Model dot add convolution 2D 6,2 input underscore shape is equal to img underscore shape. I'm using convolution 2D, right? I'm using and adding a layer over there. And then I'm adding ReLU activation layer. So how I am adding? Model dot add activation ReLU, right? And then I'm adding pooling. How do I add pooling? Max pool 2D of 2. Since I am using maximum pooling, I have showed for maximum pooling. So very simple, right? So we give the input, and whenever we set up the model, we will be using sequential model. Convolution layer, we are adding like convolution 2D. We have to add activation. So we are writing add activation. And then for pooling, I have used maximum pool 2D, right? So from this, what we can conclude is these are useful for image classification. CNN are useful for image classification. That is what we have seen, like how to like classify it as zebra or bird, right? We have seen some cases, and then it is being used in self-driving cars, right? And then facial recognition and feature extraction classification. And we understood that CNN merges input values and then filter, right? And then when we add or feed new images, so that we get probability for object or describing images, right? So hope it is clear to you, right? So that's so interesting to know about convolution neural network. So just I'll give you a recap on it, right? So first is the input image, input, and then we have kernel. When we combine this, we get feature map. That's what we have studied. Here the convolution. So we are convoluting with the help of ReLU. And then we are doing pooling, right? So pooling in the sense we have studied about maximum or average pooling. And then the next convolution layer with ReLU, then again pooling, then convolution with ReLU, then pooling. Then we are flattening it with so that we can change from 3D to 1D, right? So hope this is very clear to you. Let us meet in the next video. Thank you.